Good morning, lovely year threes. Happy Friday. We've got to the end of another week. It feels sometimes never ending, doesn't it? But we are feeling very positive that your home learning is going to come to an end very, very soon. So that's great news. So we have worked really hard this week looking at money, revising the coins that we use in the UK, looking at converting them into pounds and pence. We have also added using our little toy shop. And yesterday you did some challenge cards where you had to look at it in words and in coins and converting as well. So putting all those skills together. Today is a little bit trickier because today we are going to be looking at giving change. So it is a two-step process. So when you did your toy shop, you had to add together an amount. And imagine somebody then gave you some money to pay for it and you had to figure out how much change. So you're adding an amount together to get the total, and then you're having to subtract from a total amount to get the answer of how much change would be needed. And that's what we're going to do today. So before we begin, in your OneDrive folder is your 5 a day, which looks like this. So either print it out or do it on paper. Pause me, no more than 10 minutes, and when you're done, come back and we will mark it together. Good luck. Okay, welcome back. Hope you got on okay with that. Okay, I'm going to start over here today, and I'm going to do double 23. So you could have done this by doing 20, excuse my funny writing, and 20 first, which is 40. And then 3 and 3, which I know you can do all this in your head, which is 6, giving you the answer 46. Well done if you got that right. Give yourself a tick if you did. Okay, coming down here, how many days in December? So you need your fists again. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's on a knuckle, which means there are 31 days in December. New Year's Eve is the 31st of December. That's how I always remember there's 31 days as well. Well done if you got that right. Give yourself a tick. Okay, so this one, write a number that is a multiple of 4 and 8. A multiple means that it's in that times table. So it's got to be a number that's in the 4 times table and the 8 times table. Well, 8 is in both, isn't it? Because we've got 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 8 is 8. That could have been one of the answers. 16 is also in both of those times table. 8, 16, 2 times 8. 4, 8, 12, 16. They are both in there as well. You could have also had the answer 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 8, 16, 24, and so on. So it's got to be a number that goes in both times tables. So if you've got one that goes into both of those times tables, give yourselves a tick. There's multiple answers that could go there. Well done if you got that right. Okay, let's go over here. Just double check that you've got that they're in both times tables and you can give yourself a mark. Circle the incorrect sum. So I'm going to look down them. 22 and 7. Well, 2 and 7 make 9. That makes 29, so that's fine. 14 and 2, well, that's 16. I know that. 45 and 6. Well, 45 and 5 make 50. Let me just check this one just in case. 81 and 7. Well, 7 and 1 is 8. That one's right. So the incorrect one is this one here, because 45 add 6 makes 51, not 50. Well done if you got that right. Give yourself a tick. And the last one up here I've left on last on purpose is our arrays. Our arrays is a way of showing our multiplication via picture. I just want to change the thickness of my pen because it's quite thick. There we go. So in here, use the array to complete the number sentences. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that way. Okay. So I've got 5 lots of 7 or 7 lots of 5. Let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I can use my 5 times table here. I know that 5 lots of 7 is 35, and the answer is exactly the same for this one. We've just changed those numbers around. It doesn't affect the answer. 35. To make this into a division, then the biggest number is going to go first. So you should have had 35 in here. Excuse my funny pen writing. Divided by 5 equals 7. I'm using the same numbers. And the big number again, 35 divided by 7 equals 5. Now, there are 4 points up for grabs there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So give yourself a tick if you got all of those right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 today. What did you get out of 8? And I hope that's kick-started your maths brains. Remember to send over your results because we like to see how you've got on. Well done, everybody. Okay, let me stop that share then. And let's get back to today's money work. So like I said to you, we are going to be looking at giving change today. We have set to you a learn screen in Education City, which we're going to look at together now, and that is set in your city area, so you can look at that again. And then there is an activity to complete after that as well. So let me head into share the screen again, into Education City, if I can find it, which I can't. Okay, here it is. So this is on your in your My City area. We're going to watch it together. I will add and subtract using money to give change in pounds and pence.
Stan is at the shops. He has lots of decisions to make. What should he buy? How much money can he spend? Will he have any money left over? Let's help Stan with his shopping. First, Stan needs to know how much money he has to spend. Starting with the highest value coin or note, Stan needs to count on until he has counted all his money.
Okay, so this is what we did yesterday in our when we were converting, and we listened to a video and it showed us how to put all the notes together, then all the pounds, and then all the coins together so that we can add it up correctly.
Start with the pounds first, then the pence.
10, 15, 17, 18 pounds, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 pence. Altogether, I have 18 pounds and 90 pence.
Now that Stan knows how much money he has, he can decide what to buy.
Fantastic! I have enough money to buy the football, but I wonder if I can buy the tennis ball as well.
Stan needs to add the pounds, then add the pence to find the total cost of the football and tennis ball.
5 pounds and 1 pound is 6 pounds. 65 pence and 85 pence is 150 pence.
I'm just going to stop the screen there, children. So the way that they've added it up here is they've done the pounds first, and then they've done the pence, and then they've put it together like we did yesterday. But I do want to show you another way that you can do that. So let me just stop that share for a moment, because you can use your addition method to do it in this way, because you're so good at your column addition. So it would be a shame to waste it. So let me just get up another screen for you. So you could have done it in the same way they did, by doing £5 add £1 and then adding this up like we did in the video yesterday. Or you could use what we know about our column addition like this. So we know that 5 and 5 is 10. So I'm going to put my 0 down and carry my 1 over. 6 and 8. Well, I know that 6 and 6 double 6 is 12. Add on another 2 to make 8. That's 14. Add on 1 is 15. So I'm going to put a 5 here, and I'm going to carry the 1 over here. Now I must remember my decimal point here goes in the same place. So I'm just going to drop it in there in line with the other ones. Then I've got 5 and 1 makes 6, and my 1 carried over is 7. So you can see I have made £7.50 using my column addition. It's just really important that your decimal point stays in line all the time, and that your other numbers are in line as well. So that's another way you can find the total. They're doing it a little bit different on the screen there, but you can do it either way. Let's go back to the video.
Stan mustn't forget that 100 pence is the same as £1.
So altogether, I need 7 pounds and 50 pence.
Sten can pay with a £10 note, but he'll need some money back. The cashier knows how much change to give Sten by subtracting £7.50 from £10. To check his change, Sten can count up from £7.50 to £10 as the cashier gives him the money.
£7.50p, £8, £9, £10. Wow, that's £2.50p change. Thank you. I think I might buy myself a milkshake now too.
Okay, so you can see how he figured out the change there. Now I'm going to show you that also on my smart board because they didn't show you how they got to the answer. So he paid with £10. So I'm going to type that down here. He paid with £10. He spent £7.50. So what we could do here, put my pound sign in. Oh, make sure it's all in line. £7.50. My decimal point is in line. And this time I am not adding, this time I am taking away. £10, take away £7.50 to figure out how much change I'm going to need. Now, doing it in this way, which is your subtraction method, is really, really, really tricky because you've got all these zeros to contend with because you can't, well, you can do 0, take away 0. We know that that is 0. Let me just get the pen there. But we know you can't do 0, take away 5. So you're going to have to come over here and borrow it like we've done before. So you can't borrow it from there. So we're going to cross out the whole of the 10 and make this 9 and make this 10. So 10 take away 5. 10 take away 5, we know is 5. Put my decimal point right in there because that's the next thing that comes in line. And then I've got 9 take away 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, leaving me with 2. So my change is £2.50. Okay, which is the same answer. Now, when we're looking at giving change from £5, £10 or £20 notes, it's quite tricky because of all of these zeros that you've got to look at. So we can use our method of counting on, which we use quite often. So if I draw myself a number line here, and I put on the end of my number line at the end here, £10, because that's how much I've got in total. And I put here how much I've spent. So that's my £7.50 here on my number line. I'm now going to make a little jump. So I'm going to jump with here from £7.50, and I want to go to the next full pound. We know the next full pound is £8 here. So how much did I have to do to get to there? Well, I had to add 50p to get to there. £7.50, add another 50p. Got me to £8. So now I'm on a full number. I'm now going to do a big jump from £8 all the way to £10. There we go. So what did I need to do to get from £8 to £10? Well, I had to add £2. Excuse my funny writing here, 3, to get me there. So I now know that the change I would need is £2.50, £2.50, which is the same answer as I got down here. Okay, so that's kind of how they were doing it, by counting on. Now, I think that when you're using notes, £10 notes, £5 notes or £20 notes, it's always better to count on because this method can become a little bit confusing. But you've got 2 different methods there that you can use. So if we go into Education City again, there is an activity that I would like you to complete now and have a go at. Let me just pop back in there. So remember, you go to your city. Let me move this bar out of the way. Of course, it doesn't want to play. So go into your city area. And you should have a money folder that you've used throughout the week or at one point during the week. Sorry, children, it's just being a little bit slow. There it is, money. And then when you click in here, you'll see that we've got the Starship Enterprise Learn screen, which is what we've just done together. And you can have another look at that. And then we've got an activity here. So click in your activity. And you don't have to pause me. You can just go and do this in your own time. It's been a bit slow. Let's press start.
Sten is at the shops. He wants to buy an apple and a pear. Sten needs to add the two prices to find the total cost of the apple and the pear. Sten pays with a £1 coin, but he'll need some money back. The cashier knows how much change to give Sten by subtracting 59p from £1. To check his change, Sten can count up from 59 pence to £1 as the cashier gives him the money. Calculate the amount that Sten needs to spend, then drag the coins to give him the correct amount of change. How much will 2 rulers cost?
Okay, so you're going to need a little scrap piece of paper for this activity that you're going to do, because you need to add up first. It's 2 steps. So you need to do 2 rulers at 38p each. So do your addition for that in the way that we do our column addition. So 38 add 38. Once you've done that, then you need to then count on from your answer up to 100, which is £1, 100p, to find how much change Sten would have. Now I can do this with you, because on our screen here, if I do this one with you, then you'll know what to do. So it's 38p, add 38p. That's my first step that I need to do. Oh, I'm probably not showing this screen. Of course I'm not. Let's just double check I'm sharing it. 38p, add 38p. That's the first stage you need to do. And you can just do this on scrap paper if you're going through this activity on Education City, and put my add sign there. Okay, so then I've got 8 and 8. So double 8 is 16. Put my 6 down, carry my 1. I've got no pounds here. So I've got 3 and 3, double 3 is 6. And then add on the 1 makes 76p. Okay, now, like I said before, you could, if you wanted to, do it using your written subtraction method. However, this is quite tricky because you've got all those zeros again. Now we've got no pounds, we've only got 76p. So I can take this away. Let's put my lines in. So I've done my first step and I have added the amount up together, the total amount that I'd like to spend. And I've got a £1 coin, so I want to find out my change. So you can do it in this way if you want to. I can't do 0 take away 6. I can't do 0 take away 7. So I'm going to have to borrow from here. This now becomes 0. And I'm giving 1 over here, making this 10. But I've still got to get it to here. So I'm going to cross this out. This becomes 9. See how confusing it becomes, and now this becomes my 10. So I've got 10 take away 6, which is 4. I've now got 9 take away 7, like we did before, leaving me with 2. Put my decimal point in. 0 take away 0, because I've got no pounds now, is 0, giving me my answer of no pounds and 24 pence, making it 24p. Now that to me is really, really a long way of doing it, when you can quite easily on a number line put 76, oh, not that one, excuse me, 76p here on this end. That's how much you want to spend. Put your pound on this end, which is 100 pennies, or you can write it in either way. You could write 100p or £1, excuse my skew with writing there. And then make your jumps. So from 76 to the next 10 number would be to 80p. So I've added, what have I added there? I've added 4p. And then from my 80p, a big jump to make, excuse me, my wobbly lines, I've now added 20p. And I'm getting the same answer, but this is a bit clearer, I think. 80 to 100p, 80p to 100p is 20p, so 20p and 4p gives me the same answer as here, 24p, but I didn't have to contend with all those zeros, which makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so let's get back to STEM. So we figured out it's 24p. Let's see if we were right. 24p. Oh, how much will 2 rulers cost? It would help if I read it, wouldn't it? So we said 2 rulers would cost 76p, didn't we?
The total cost is 76 pence. Sten pays with a £1 coin. Give Sten his change.
So we've now worked out that he knows he needs 24 pence. Now you can do this in lots of different ways. You could do 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 2 and 4. You could do a 10 and a 10 to make 20, and a 2 and a 2 to make 4. You could do a 20 pence piece and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can choose which way you do it because we've done the calculations. We know what his change is.
Sten needs 24 pence. Change. How much will an eraser and a pen cost?
Okay, so I'm not going to do the rest of them with you because I want you to do these on your own, okay? So when you finish the video with me, log in, watch the learn screen again, do these by jotting down your calculations on a scrap piece of paper to see if you can get them right. And I can check your scores on these so I can see how well you've got on. So it's a bit of a practice before you do your worksheet activity. So once you've completed that, year 3, in the OneDrive folder, you have each got a sheet. And I think that squares and circles, you've got the same sheet today. And it is called, if I can find it, it's in here. Check your change, and it looks like this. So hexagons, you've got one, and then circles and squares, you have got one here. So it's asking you to check if the change is right. So I'll just look at this first one. Let me zoom in a little bit. So here you've got a carton of milk, that's what we've bought, and we're paying with a £1 coin. So you're going to need your scrap pieces of paper again to check. And you might want to draw a number line here. So 87 on one side, 100 on the other, and see how much change in it. So if I was 87 and I jumped to the next 10, that would be 90. And I've 87, 88, 89, 90. That's 3p. And then from 90 to 100p to £1 is only 10. So that's 10 and 3, that makes 13p. So I should have got 13 pence change. So let's see how much is here. We've got a 5. Is that a 5? And another 5. I think it's a 5. Let me have a look. Oh no, it's a 10. It's a 10 pence. So let's go back. So here I've got a 10 pence and a 10 pence and a 2 pence, making 22 pence change. Well, I definitely shouldn't have had 22 pence change. I should have 13. So I'm going to put a cross here because it's not correct. And then I'm going to write the amount that I should have had. Okay, now if you want to do that by doing coin rubbings in there or just writing it out, then that's fine as well. So you're checking if the change from what you pay with is right. Okay, so you've got quite a few little steps that you've got to do there. But once you've done your practice on Education Tutor, you should be pretty good at this. So you've each got a sheet there to complete. It's got 2 pages on each one. The answers are attached. Please don't go ahead. They are there for your parents. And as I said, make sure you count it up before you pay. Now, hexagons, yours is a little bit bigger, your amounts. So if I go in here, you're buying a ball for £3.69, you're using a £5 note. Now, if you want to do the column subtraction to have a go like I showed you, but if it were me, I would write £3.69 on one side, a number line, £5, and work it out that way. When you send this work to us, if you're going to send it, it's not a marked piece, but we wouldn't just like to see the sheet. We would like to see how you've worked it out as well. Because it does give us an idea of whether you've used your subtraction column method or whether you've used a number line method. So that is your task for today. You've got loads to do. It's a Friday as well. So watch the learn screen again if you need to. Complete the activity that Sten needs his change and do that on some scrap paper so that you're having a practice first. Then with your worksheet, show you're working out in your maths books. Okay, so you can put question 1 and you're working out in your maths books, and write the answer on the sheet then. You've got loads to be getting on with. And I think I've also set you, if you have time, which I don't think that you will have time, another activity in Purple Mash today, which is calculating change from £1. If you get a chance to do that, that's great, but you have already got quite a lot going on today, so it's in there if you want it to have a go out in Purple Mash. So good luck. It's Friday, the weekend is here, so once you've finished your work for today, you can chill out and relax and have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully get the sunshine out so you can get outdoors a bit more. It is definitely changing outside, the weather, which is always a plus. See you soon.